Welcome to this week's Supply Chain Update, brought to you by Phoenix International. First off, let's start with market conditions. Post-Lunar New Year demand on key trade lanes remains weak. On the Trans-Pacific eastbound, rates are still declining, but a gradual recovery is expected by weeks 9 to 10 as peak season surcharges are adjusted. In the Far East westbound trade, the Shanghai Containerized Freight Index declined in week 7, reflecting pricing pressures, but carriers are taking steps to stabilize rates. Over on the transatlantic westbound, some carriers have lowered FAK rates, but peak season surcharges are anticipated in March to align with demand growth. Moving on to operational updates, no major equipment shortages or disruptions have been reported across key trade lanes. However, there are reports of extremely low rate offers in some markets. Shippers should be cautious, as these rates may not be sustainable in the long run. Lastly, for capacity management, in Trans-Pacific eastbound, carriers are restoring capacity in weeks 9 to 10, but further blank sailings could be announced if rates continue to decline. Far East westbound is currently experiencing an oversupply of space, though last-minute blank sailings may occur if demand remains sluggish. Meanwhile, transatlantic westbound carriers have not significantly adjusted service levels, but are adapting their rate strategies based on market conditions. Moving on to the news of this week, a Drewry survey shows that most industry stakeholders expect full-scale Suez Canal transits to resume by the end of 2025. However, detours around the Cape of Good Hope have already reduced global shipping capacity by 9%. Meanwhile, U.S. tariff increases remain a concern, with projections indicating rates could rise between 5 to 10% by year-end. January saw a spike in containerized imports ahead of the Lunar New Year and new U.S. tariffs, leading to congestion at the Los Angeles Long Beach ports. As a result, rail container dwell times at Long Beach Container Terminal increased from 3 to 5 days. Despite these delays, import volumes are expected to remain strong through March and into Q2. The Port of New York and New Jersey is experiencing congestion due to a combination of increased import volumes, adverse weather, and scheduling challenges. Truckers are facing difficulties returning empty containers, creating delays and increasing costs for shippers. Carriers including Hapag-Lloyd are exploring additional storage solutions to help mitigate the backlog. Retailers are accelerating imports into U.S. ports to stay ahead of the new U.S. and China tariffs. In December alone, container throughput at U.S. ports surged 14.4% year-over-year, with volumes expected to stay high in early 2025. Analysts warn that while this strategy helps in the short term, it could lead to increased warehousing costs and potential supply chain bottlenecks. And that concludes our update on the global supply chain. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to monitor these developments and keep you informed. You can follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for more supply chain related updates.